So today I want to think about culture. Are most of the business events that you go to working to cultivate a really great culture? To be honest, I'm thinking most of them are not. And yet it's so important. It can make or break an event. If we feel welcomed and included, we enjoy ourselves and we are more likely to come back. But if there is a cold, exclusive kind of cliquey culture, we feel unwelcome and we don't want to attend again. And as we're really starting to hear people talk about how do we get people who wouldn't normally consider coming to our business events to turn up, we've got to get on top of this. We've got to start thinking about everything from how attendees want to learn to how they go to the bathroom, how they reach the stage, how they feel safe and basically loved enough to want to be at our events. And does anything we're doing or planning at this event put anybody off? Are we considering every kind of person and remembering that what makes me feel welcome doesn't work for everyone else? Ultimately, it is asking all the D, E, and I questions: diversity, equity, and inclusion. So we've got to think, have we considered cognitive diversity, the different perspectives and problem-solving approaches that everybody has? And along this line, are we considering neurodiversity, autism spectrum disorder, other neurological or developmental conditions, ADHD, any learning disabilities? Cultural diversity, are we embracing lots of different traditions and religions and cultures? Now, we know the demographic diversity one because often it's visible: gender, race, age. Are we considering those? But also remember disability, and remember that not everybody's disabilities are visible. And emotional diversity, this is super important: an environment where people can really feel and express a wide range of emotions and feel safe doing so. Now, it's clear, isn't it, from all of that, we've got to work so much harder to get the basics right. But when attention is paid to these things, then your attendees will see it and appreciate it and feel more welcome as a result. Just a few things that I've learned from some of the events I attend. Make sure accessible bathrooms are actually near where everybody needs to be, that they're not 20 minutes away via 3 lifts and one of those lifts doesn't have room for a wheelchair. So all of these things you've got to check with a venue. Don't take their word for it. And by the way, remember, a standard accessible toilet is designed for independent use, so it won't meet the needs of all people with a disability. So you've got to be sure you're getting that right for not just attendees, but contributors as well. Do you have the right facilities in place? And on this, how long does it take a wheelchair user to travel from that accessible bathroom or from the cafe or from the facilities to different places at your venue? Can they actually get through the deep piled carpet? There's a lot more to think about. So if you really want to be welcome to everybody, you've got to question your venues and check and research. Now, when we say we welcome all backgrounds, do we really? Are we completely considering everybody: age, race, gender, sexual orientation, cultural, traditional, all of these things? Just some things I've thought about this morning. Does your dress code limit some people from attending? Would it make them feel uncomfortable? Is it something it's going to be expensive for everybody to get? Are you providing alcohol-free areas and good non-alcoholic drinks? What about the food you're serving? Is there any chance it could cause offence? Make sure there's a wide choice. Have you catered for different diets? And I don't just mean gluten-free and vegan. What about culturally and religious-wise as well? And on that note, just as you wouldn't book your event for Christmas Day, have you considered if the date you've chosen for your event falls on any other important holy days for any other mainstream religions? And, really, are your contributors and audience representative? Do you have diverse, interesting speakers, people of different genders, colours and viewpoints? And what about people at your event who might not have English as a first language? What translation facilities are in place? Are there quiet, safe places to go for people who need a break from the hustle and bustle? Is your agenda made up of a different variety of sessions that accommodate different learning styles? And do your suppliers and all your contributors subscribe to this? Have you checked that they can do all this, that they're applying it in the way they work? Just a few things that I've come up with thinking about this, about ways to improve the culture and show that you're inclusive and caring. I know there are others. Share in the comments below any other ideas you have that could improve the culture of an event.